The Series 9 versus the Ultra 2. Which one should you upgrade to? Well, in plain summary, if you have a Series 4 or newer Apple Watch, your device is actually compatible to be updated on the latest upcoming firmware update of watchOS 10, which means you'll have access to the new watch faces that got recently added, like the Snoopy as well as the Solar Analog. And if you have the Ultra first generation like I do, don't worry, you're not left out, because all the new data that the Apple Watch Ultra can now track is available within watchOS 10, as well as that impressive ultra modular watch face. So with that said, I'm going to give you the pros about the Series 9, including the Ultra 2, and will give you my honest opinion if it's actually worth considering. Starting off with the Series 9. A feature that wasn't really specified during the keynote is the fact that the Series 9 received a new feature in terms of storage capacity, as now it actually will have 64 gigabytes of internal storage, which means current Apple Watches, majority of them have 32 gigabytes, including the Ultra 1. And if we look at my storage capacity right now on my device with all these apps and podcasts installed, I still have plenty of storage left over. But knowing that 64 gigabytes is now available on the Apple Watch, that can definitely be a massive selling point to those who actually do store a lot of data on their Apple Watches. Now the S9 will be the first Apple Watch to be a sport body style that can actually go up to 2000 nits. This is mind-blowing, because my Ultra 1 has this capability to reach up to 2000 nits, and from my honest experience, that is perfect for the great outdoors. Typically with older Apple Watches that had 1000 nits, I usually had to find myself covering my Apple Watch to cast a shadow or underneath some shade just to view the display on my Apple Watch. 2000 nits of brightness was perfect with the Apple Watch Ultra, so the Series 9 with 2000 nits of brightness is amazing for all outdoor scenarios. Now the new pink color is I guess a feature I want to go ahead and cover. This could be a good selling point to some, especially those who are actually planning on purchasing the pink iPhone. This pink will definitely match perfectly. But don't worry, product red is available for the Series 9, as well as all the three original colors we were used to: Scarlet, Silver, and Midnight. But one of the biggest selling points for the Series 9 is the S9 chipset that's inside, because this will actually allow Siri to be embedded on the processor without having to connect to a cloud in order for Siri to respond and do whatever command you ask it. This will definitely free up a lot of headaches, but I'm kind of skeptical because I've had experience with Siri having great internet connectivity and it was still a headache. So I hope this feature works as advertised, but as of right now, I'm personally skeptical about this Siri integration, but I'm sure for starting like outdoor runs and such in a low reception environment, this will definitely free up headaches, and that alone can also be a massive selling point to some. Now, always on display is of course going to be equipped on the Series 9 Apple Watch, which is good news for those that are planning on upgrading to the Series 4 Apple Watch or an SE Apple Watch of some sort, SE or the SE2. So of course, by that, also blood oxygen sensor will also be available on the S9 as well as the Ultra, ECG support, body temperature censoring for menstrual cycle tracking, and etc. And then lastly, the new gyro sensors and improvements that the S9 will have, including the Ultra 2, so it could actually support the double tap gesture control to respond with your smart stack, answer or deny calls. If you ever find yourself in a situation where both your hands are occupied and you just want to quickly interact with your Apple Watch with one single hand, the watch that's on your wrist. Now, some may argue this feature is already available, and it is technically in the accessibility section where you have the capability to control your Apple Watch hands-free, but something tells me this is more perfected due to the fact that this is actually integrated with the UI. If you enable this touch control assist on a current Apple Watch, it doesn't work consistently and as fluid as Apple advertised during their keynotes. So yes, even though we could still do this on older Apple Watches, it's not the same, especially since the UI is also integrated on this. Now, new bands are indeed available. New colors options are also available as well for both the Nike edition and the standard one, but a new interesting one is the new fine woven, you know what I mean, the vegan leather like material that Apple will be soon using on their magnetic leather bands. They're replacing it with this to bring a lower carbon footprint. So if you like to get a new Apple Watch band, it might make more sense to actually upgrade to the latest Apple Watch, especially if you do it through Apple's Creative Store or Creative Suite. But another massive selling point about the S9 Apple Watch is the second generation U2, the ultra wideband chip, which will actually allow the Apple Watch to be able to use precision tracking for finding lost objects or people who are part of the Find My app. The in-arrow capability that we've seen in the past on iPhones will now be available on the Apple Watch to actually locate things much quicker. Now, with that said, let's move on to the Ultra 2. Unfortunately, there wasn't really much of a massive upgrade, so if you currently own the Ultra 1 first generation, you may not find it a necessary upgrade because it still carries all the same unique features that it has, such as the siren capability, titanium body, which is only available in one color option still. You still have the action button, which still has the same exact color. And side by side, the both look 100% identical. Just the new titanium body is using 95% recyclable material for a lower carbon footprint. Still is able to last up to 36 hours under a single charge in regular mode. It will still feature the same microphone array for the best audio quality experience for your caller, as well as the loudest speaker found on any Apple Watch. And then lastly, of course, it's built with the most durable material for any Apple Watch, plus being the largest screen Apple Watch available in the market. So it's still going to feature the same GPS advanced tracking, same water resistant rating, and the Ultra 1 will continue to receive the new improvements that the Ultra 2 has via software. So the new watch faces, as I previously stated, it's available on the Ultra 1, as well as the new data that the Ultra is able to track as well that was given. But where it does shine is its low power mode, because previously the Ultra 1 was able to last up to 60 hours in low power mode. This one's rated to last up to 72 hours, but something tells me this is also a firmware update. So until I get my hands on this and actually confirm for myself with my battery life test, there's a slight chance that the first generation Ultra could also receive this 72-hour battery life if it's just a software tweak. But where the Ultra 2 does shine is the additional storage, as the storage has significantly been doubled, as now it's able to have 64 gigabytes of internal storage. And of course, you benefit all the new benefits that the S9 has, such as the double tap gesture to respond to your Apple Watch, the built-in Siri, and lastly, the precision tracking. And then when it comes to its display, it's able to reach up to 3000 nits of brightness, which in my opinion is kind of overkill, but freaking awesome. Because the one thing I love about the Ultra is its crazy bright display. Now knowing that it's 50% brighter according to Apple, I think this is overkill, because I never experienced an issue where the sun was too bright for me to not see the display, but 3000 nits is now possible, so let's see how people could utilize this. I think people will be able to benefit using the flashlight with the flashlight boost. So if you're planning on upgrading, this is my honest thoughts. If you have the Series 3, yes, you're overdue an upgrade. You should definitely consider upgrading. The faster processor that these modern Apple Watches have are literally 8 times faster in terms of overall performance, and the display quality is much better than the square display. These newer displays definitely make it easier to view text as well as images off the display much better. And the additional storage upgrade as well as LTE reception definitely does make this a watch you want to definitely consider upgrading. If you have a Series 4, not really necessary to upgrade, because you will still continue receiving the latest firmware updates from Apple, as watchOS 10 is indeed compatible, which means you'll take advantage of its new features and new UI tweaks, just not the watch faces. But if you have a 45 or the 41mm Apple Watch display, you're going to get given the new watch faces that got added for watchOS 10, including everything else via software. So if you have a Series 6 Apple Watch, there's really no reason to upgrade, as you still will have always on display, good amount of storage, and you're at a point where you can actually confidently wait for the Series 10 Apple Watch, because the Series 10 is said to be fully redesigned next year. So I'll strongly advise just waiting if you can. Now if you have a Series 8 Apple Watch, no, I really honestly don't see a reason to upgrade. Body structure, design, everything is identical, unless you just want that pink color. And the double tap gesture is cool and all, but unless you find yourself in situations where you always have something in your hand and you really can't interact with your Apple Watch, that's when I may want to consider possibly upgrading to the Series 9 just for the double tap gesture. It may make your life so much easier if you work in an environment where you always have something on your hand and you can't respond with your Apple Watch. Then if you have the Ultra 1, as I stated in my previous video, in case you missed it, it's right over there. Aside from the brighter display and the additional storage and the precision tracking, I don't really see a reason to upgrade to this Ultra 2. So I'll definitely feel more confident just recommending to hold off until the Ultra 3, because something tells me the Ultra 3 at least should have color options to choose from, and it will also feature the new S10 chipset, which is set to be much more powerful and revolutionary because the Series 10 Apple Watch is going to receive a massive redesign. So the Ultra 3 may also get something like that as well. So I would definitely consider holding off. Regardless, both are the latest Apple Watches. If you're the type of individual that just needs to have the latest and greatest, by all means, go with the S9 as well as the Ultra 2. But that's the comparison between these two Apple Watches and why you may want to consider waiting or upgrading. Let me know in the comment section what route are you going with. Now for more, if you'd like to watch the comparison between the Ultra 1 and the Ultra 2 in its own dedicated video where I go into more details, check it out right over there. Thanks so much for watching.